and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm preparing for the Deacon Size selection test. In this video I'm going to focus on the stats part of the test, but if you do want a video in the future about how I'm preparing for the other parts, then please let me know in the comments below. Now, this is my first time applying to the doctorate ever in my whole life. So my information has come from trainees, people who have taken the test before, and online forums. The Let's Check In podcast did a really good episode about the selection tests, and so I'd really highly recommend listening to that. I'll leave it linked down below. And another useful resource is the ClinSci forum, which I'll also leave the link to down below. I find that website quite hard to navigate, but it is a good resource when you can find the right thread that you're looking for. And if you look on the Leeds Clearinghouse website, then they do have some useful information there, but for the most part I have really relied upon like online resources and word of mouth. I would really appreciate if anyone could leave any helpful resources down below, not just for me but for other people watching this video. I really want to use this space as a supportive, helpful community, and I know the psychology career can be very competitive at times. I get that, but I also think there is a need to help each other in some ways because there's not much information out there. So when I'm filming this video, it's January the 17th, so we still have some time before the exam itself. So some of the things that I've mentioned I haven't done yet, but some of them I already have done and I can say that they have been helpful. The first thing that I did was watched some lectures online, and I thought I was going to be able to access my undergrad lectures, which I couldn't. So if you can access your undergrad lectures, then do it. But if you can't, then have a look at the playlist that I've linked down below, and it's the NYU Statistics Research Methods module, and they've basically just uploaded all of their lectures from this research methods module onto YouTube, and it is fantastic, guys. Like, this woman is an amazing lecturer of statistics. They are all really good, just to kind of review the undergrad knowledge that you probably once had and have now forgotten. So I would highly recommend watching that series. The next thing that I did was checked in with my guy Andy Field. Fun story, and I think I've mentioned this before, but Andy Field actually lectured me at Sussex, and I know a lot of you would have probably read his textbook, but the one that I really want to recommend to you guys is this one, and it's called An Adventure in Statistics. Honestly, I don't think the contents of this is any different to the one that everyone uses, and I can't remember the name of it. The way that it's presented is very different to any other textbook that I have ever read in my life. It is actually in the form of a story. The main character loses his girlfriend, and you go through this whole sci-fi adventure journey with them, but throughout it the character is learning about statistics, and so you're reading it from his point of view, and he's asking all of these questions. Loads of different characters come in and teach him different parts of statistics, so like the general linear model, ANOVAs, like all of it, but it's all done in regards to like finding his girlfriend, and because it has a storyline you just want to keep reading it, and it's really bizarre. I've read all of it, so I can honestly say this book has taught me so much about statistics. I have never understood statistics, and I feel like with this book things just clicked. Because of the real world examples, it really helped. Those are the bits that I have already done. I mean, that book is huge, guys, so the fact that I've already gone through it, I'm so proud of myself, but I've still got a lot more to do. The next thing that I would like to do is read parts of this book, and I have outlined some chapters that I want to read. If I can, I'd love to read the whole of this book, and this is the How to Design and Report Experiments, and this is by Andy Field, of course, the OG of stats, and Graham Holt. I have read this before during my undergrad, and this basically maps out from beginning to end the experimental process. So it talks to you literally from the conception of an idea to the point of creating the experiment, designing it, and then also thinking about what stats you would use, and then finally writing it up. So it takes you through the whole process, and my supervisor really recommended that I review how experiments are designed. So I'm hoping I can get through this book, but we'll see. If it is just a few chapters, then I'll be happy with that. That's how I'm learning the material and gaining my knowledge and reviewing the things that I've learned already. But I think the real hard part about revising is the actual studying part and memorising things. The way that I'm doing this is using flashcards, and I love flashcards. That is how I revised for all of my exams during my undergrad. I am using an app called Quizlet, and Quizlet is just an online form of flashcards. But one thing that I love about Quizlet is that other people can share their flashcards with you. This book An Adventure in Statistics by Andy Field, the nice people at Sage Publishing have actually made a bunch of flashcards for this book and all of the terms in this book. I'm not creating my own flashcards, I actually don't have the time, so I'm just going to use the pack that is already made for me on Quizlet and learn those. And I especially love Quizlet because there are different options for how you can learn. So you can read through the flashcards and then they put them into two different piles. One is a like, yes, I know that, and another pile is, I'm not too sure. And then what it will do is it will make sure that you have to look at those cards again and again and again until you learn them and until you can move them over into the learnt pile. So I would highly recommend that. Another way that I'll be testing my knowledge is through practicing MCQs. Now there's not that many online for the Declan Psy test, so I saw on the Surrey presentation that they recommended this book, which is Test Yourself, Research Methods and Design in Psychology by Upton and Upton. I have briefly actually gone through some of the questions and they seem quite helpful. They seem very similar to what I had to do in my undergrad. So it's divided into different chapters. So we've got research in psychology, designing research studies, the basics of experimental design, loads of different things. In each chapter there are short MCQs, extended MCQs, and then like an essay question, which we won't be doing, so I'm not really looking at that. Don't know most of the answers at the moment, but I think it will be good to go back in a couple of weeks' time. Do I even have a couple of weeks? I don't think I have a couple of weeks, but it'll be interesting to go through this once I've learned the flashcards and see how much I've learned. And then what I will do is review the topics that I'm unsure of or that I haven't been scoring high on, and then just keep going in that process of reading up, testing, and hopefully I'll have the knowledge that I need to do well enough in the exam. I'm aware that there is a practice paper online, but I don't think it has that many questions, and apparently it doesn't really replicate the actual exam itself. The questions are very easy, so if you did want to take a look at that, then I think that's linked on the Salamon's course website under the testing section. But again, if anyone has any useful resources, then please leave it down below. Please give this video a like if you liked it and subscribe for more content like this, and until next time guys, I'll see you later. Bye.